Is Chainlink bullishly consolidating before its next big leg to the upside? And if so, what are those next top 3 price targets that I have my eye on if we do get that move to come in? We're going to be talking about all that and more in today's Sunday Sauce video. Let's get into it.
On a roll, here we go, here we go.
So guys, here we are on the Chainlink chart, and as you can see, Chainlink has broken out of its bear market range and gotten its first big leg to the upside during our bear market rally of 2023, and this pump has given us a move of about 260%, not too shabby if you're holding Chainlink, but as we are starting to potentially bullishly consolidate up here, could we be primed for another move to the upside? Well, there's actually a few different reasons why we could potentially expect a move up here on Chainlink. Now, I'm not calling for a move up, tomorrow or the next day. Who knows how long we can stay within this range or if we'll even get the breakout, but there are some things pointing to a potential move to the upside and how I would expect the price action on Chainlink to go moving into the near future. And it all starts here, guys, with our volume profile from the top of the bull market, and we are now hitting up against this brick wall, which is kind of the first thing I want to talk about because we are hitting significant resistance. Now, this level is very important because it is the value area low of this bull market range from up here in 2021, and you can see the value area low of that range is sitting right here between about $16.95 and $17. Now, with these value area lows, they are kind of a bittersweet situation because they act as resistance at first, but we now know that if we are able to get above this level of resistance and hold it as support, we may be able to start our journey up to some of these higher prices, potentially bringing us up to a $31 Chainlink. But until we're able to flip that level to support, we have to expect this level to act as resistance, as it is a very, very key level to flip. And if we turn on the visible range volume profile, you can see we just simply have a pretty big high volume node here. So this is kind of that area of volume we're trying to get above and flip to support. And essentially that lines up with our value area low, which is why that is our main point of focus right now. And remember, we always call these value area lows the potential doorway to higher prices because we know what happens when we flip them to support. And then you could just see the volume kind of agreeing with all that right here. Now, on top of that, guys, looking at some of our indicators such as Market Cipher B, you can see the weekly green dot is looking to print here as that VWAP creeps up towards the 0 line. And we also have the money flow cruising to the upside at the same time. So once we wind up getting that green dot on the weekly, this could mark the beginning of that move up if we are indeed going to see it. So this is something that I am keeping a serious eye on for the next move up on Chainlink, and that is on Market Cipher B. And then you can see down here your 6-day green dot is already printing, and we already have some green dots confirmed on the medium daily time frames like the 4-day and the 3-day, etc. But again, that weekly green dot is kind of that main signal that I'll be keeping my eye on. Now, before we get into those next top 3 price targets to the upside for Chainlink, I do want to cover the local price action, as this is typically where I look for my trade entries. And if I'm looking at this in terms of volume profiles, I would simply be looking at this range right here, where I typically look for short entries when we deviate above the value area high, and where I look for long entries as we deviate below the value area low. And to be honest, guys, this would not have been a bad long entry in my opinion in case we do see a breakout sooner than later and we don't come back down to the bottom of the range. Because as you can see on the 4-hour time frame, not only were we deviating below this volume profile, but we were also putting in some bullish divergences with our lower lows on price action and our higher lows on our momentum waves, letting us know that we would likely get a bounce here. And if we were able to get back above that value area low right here, we would likely go back to the POC and eventually revisit the value area high. So that's kind of how I handle the markets for the most part, guys. I don't really trade these impulsive moves. I like to find my entries in these areas of consolidation so I can get an actual decent trade entry at the bottom of the range, and I'm not just longing the top of the pump. So I would handle this area of consolidation very, very similarly to any other asset that I'm trading, looking at the bullish consolidation range to find my entry. Now, let's get into those top 3 price targets for Chainlink if we do wind up seeing a breakout here. Whether we get a pullback first or not, I want to talk about those top targets. Now, just like any of the other assets that we look at as we tap on this value area low, guys, once we see this value area low flipped, this is oftentimes where we see the rest of the range filled because based off the laws of the volume profile, we just look to flip that value area low and then get to the POC and eventually and hopefully that value area high. Now, this technique is very similar to how we were able to accurately call Solana to $100 as well as Bitcoin to 48 to 50K, which obviously, guys, we just saw play out recently. And we were able to catch that Solana move to the upside upside, as it was almost in the exact same situation as Chainlink. If you don't want to miss those videos where we call those price targets like we did on Solana and Bitcoin, make sure you subscribe to the channel and you have notifications set so you don't miss any of these altcoin updates, which are always jam-packed with a ton of sauce, as you would expect. Now, let's get into the exciting part and probably the reason you guys clicked on this video, and that is the top price targets for Chainlink. So let's jump into that right now. So number one, guys, I would be cautious around a couple of different levels, right? Once we get above this value area low, the next key level that I would be looking at is simply to crack this previous high that we made up here, sitting at about $17.70. Now, we actually do have a significant level of resistance up here, and it is simply a naked daily point of control, and you can see that is actually the level that we wound up rejecting the last time we came up and attempted to get above that value area low. Now, I do think it is going to be more likely that we break through it on a second go around here. However, you know, we could expect some kind of turbulence here. This may kind of cause us to bing bong around this value area low a little bit before finally flipping it to support. Now, the next local area of resistance, and not a key level, but somewhat of an interesting level, would be this local 618 sitting here at about 1962, between about 1962 and $20. You're going to want to keep an eye on this. Again, not expecting it to be a gigantic level, but definitely something that can cause a little bit of turbulence. Now, once we're able to clear these hurdles and decisively flip that value area low to support, this is what opens up the door to potentially some much higher prices. Now, these levels are a mix of naked points of controls as well as the value area levels between both of these. Simply, we are going to be looking for target number one to be coming up here at about $22.57, which is where we have this naked daily point of control sitting between about 22,317 and about 22,571. So this is going to be kind of the first major target that I'll be looking at, because we know these naked points of controls typically act as a magnet for price. So if I was in a trade down here from this area of consolidation and we flip that value area low to support and we were able to make it up to that $22 level, that is simply where I would be looking to take my profits, right? Not all my profits, but I would be looking probably to take a TP1 at this point in case we are unable to make it to the point of control of the previous range, and coincidentally is target number two, because as we know, guys, just based off the simple laws of the volume profile, you flip that value area low, eventually you are expecting to get to that POC, but obviously we do have to keep in mind that we have other significant levels of resistance that might give us turbulence before we actually hit that first main target. So for that reason, that next target is going to be sitting right here at that previous naked point of control at about $27. And if we look at some of our other naked points of control, you can actually see we have a weekly NPOC sitting right on that level as well, or at least very close to it at about $26.55. So we have some beautiful confluence between this weekly NPOC and the naked point of control sitting from this previous area of consolidation. And if you guys stick around till the end of the video, I'll give you one more bonus price prediction that is sitting just above our last top price target that I could eventually see being hit. And then our final price target, or our final major price target, I guess I should call it, is simply going to be here, guys, at that value area high of the range. And this would be bringing you to a $30+ Chainlink. And again, this does seem like a pretty crazy call in my opinion, at least as of right now. But remember, I also felt pretty crazy calling for a 48 to 50K Bitcoin based off the exact same strategy or technique of flipping that value area low to support, eventually getting up to your POC and making it finally up to your value area high, but also keeping in mind that we had some local areas of resistance in here that did wind up giving us some turbulence. So simply just trying to do the exact same thing here on Chainlink for you guys, so we can hopefully accurately call these price moves again. So if we see Chainlink hop on top of that value area low, smash target 1, smash target 2, smash target 3, I will be expecting these last two bonus targets between about $34 to $36 at that macro golden pocket retracement. And if we're able to squeak up a little bit more, I will naturally be looking at that 786 retracement at about $42.70 for our last top price targets for Link before a significant pullback is likely to come in at $42.70. Can we see Chainlink hit these price targets? Again, if we flip that value area low, guys, we may see this play out just like it did on Bitcoin. And with all that being said, that's all the time I got for today's video, Mafia. Smash that like button. I'll see you in the next one. Frankie Candles out.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command.